How's it going, guys? My name is Ryan Monn from Cincinnati, South Carolina, currently sponsored by Disccraft Underground, down to this and drive bags. And here we are at Huck Central. I'm gonna take you through what's in my bag. First off, we're gonna start, always gotta have a chalk bag. Shout out drive bags. Personally, I think they're the best chalk bags in the game, and go pick you one up. Next up, first for my putting putters, I use the Putterline Challenger OSs. They're really good for wind fighting as well as just consistent calm days. When they a little right of the basket and they get a nice dependable finish right into the center of the chains. And this one's my main right now with this little scratch on top, but this one's there in case I put this one in the water and just to limit the wear and tear of the putters in general. Next up, I'll go into my approach / putters. I carry 7 of them. We'll go most understable to overstable. First up, we got another Putterline Challenger OS. This one I used to putt with. If you look back at some of the earlier Great Course South Carolina footage, it's our classic putter with this one. But now it's a good hyzer flip to turnover putter or a long jump putter from around that 70-foot range. But really, it's used for a hyzer flip to turnover putter or hold turn. Next up, we got this. I believe this is a Z Color Shift Luna. I got it from chess.com. This one is just dead straight. Throw it on any line, it's gonna hold it. Baby Annie, maybe fight out a little bit and flat, or hyzer flip to like this, my hyzer, get to flat and just go pretty straight. So really good one right there. Next up, we got the new ZLEX Jawbreaker Kratos from the Tour Series this year. It's a Paul McBeth one. And this one, these ones didn't come out as soft as I thought they would. When they sent me the cap wrap, I wasn't a huge fan of how soft this one. This one is not that soft at all, and it's really good. Consistent, just more versatile than that Luna, so throw it straight and get a nice dependable finish out of it. Isn't the best in headwinds, don't really throw it there except with the Nexus I'm about to show you, but this one is really good for calm days as well. Next up is probably my most thrown putter is a 2020 Brian Earhart Z Zone. This one's given to me by Monn. Shout out to him. This one is really good for a forehand, Baby Annie, get the flat and get a nice baby skip to the right, or a backhand, just consistent overstable shot. This is the one I'll use in most of the headwinds. If we have about 20 mile an hour, maybe 15 mile an hour headwind, I'll do this one for the putter. Next up is a very new disc. It's technically a mid-range, but I use it as an approach disc. It's the new Test Flight Swarm from Disccraft. It's a very overstable profile, and it's very good for just forehand flexes about this amount of anhyzer, have it flat out, or backhand flexes that also need to come out fairly quickly. It's like a workable Zone OS. Next up, I have a Zone OS in my bag for just throw it this amount of anhyzer, come out, or any headwinds where no putter can hold up besides this one. So this one gives me a very overstable finish. Goes about 190, 200 feet, and it's a very overstable finish. Next up, going to mid-ranges, I only carry 4. We'll start off with most understable, most overstable. Start off with the Tim Barham Tour Series Buzz SS. This one just recently put it back in my bag. I had it when I was lower down in the ranks of the amateur divisions. This one's very good for hyzer flip to turnover. It's kind of like that red Challenger OS I showed you, but in the mid-range. So it's very good for hyzer flip to turn or forehands that need to just hold turn and barely come out at the end. I throw it hole 8 here from the short pad. Next up is probably my favorite mid-range currently is old Nate Doss TI Buzz. This is probably one of my favorite discs of all time, I think. The Buzz mold, but not just the Buzz mold, this one, the specific TI one. This one's flat, so it has a little bit of a quicker flip up than some of the Domi ones. Some of the Domi ones will take a little bit longer to flip up. This one flips up to flat, goes straight, maybe a baby turn, and that baby finish, just how you want a nice little beat up Buzz to be. Next up, I got a 4-claw ESP one. This is my laser straight one. Like that, it's like that Z Metallic Luna. Throw it at any angle, it's gonna hold the angle. Maybe baby hyzer flip to flat, go fairly straight, and the perfect Buzz. Perfect complement to the other Buzz as well. Then I got a Proto Malta. This one is just for my consistent Baby Annies to flex out or flat to hyzer shots. And this one doesn't really have much glide for a Malta, but it's still pretty overstable for a Malta. And I guess the Swarm is a mid-range, you want to call it that, for the next slot up. Next up, going to Fairway Drivers. This is where I predominantly have most of my discs in my bag, at least. I'm carrying 7. We'll start out with normal fairways, then we'll go into hybrids and forehand discs like that. First up, we got the first run Z Zcada. This one's very good, given to me by Mike D'Onofrio, signed by Alan Vasquez. So this one's really good for a hyzer flip to turn or forehand turnovers, but really just good for a hyzer flip to turn, flat shot, maybe baby turn and just hold it. So this one's really good for an understable fairway. Great addition to the Disccraft lineup when they got that. Next up is probably my favorite fairway driver in the Athena. This is a big Z one. This one's really good for hyzer flip to flat and just go very straight. It's like that Nate Dow's TI Buzz. I mean, hyzer flip to flat, go straight, or baby turn. Even maybe some hyzer flip forehands if I need them, but this one's really good. Next up is my most thrown fairway, I believe, is this Proto Athena. This one's just consistent, flat to overstable, throw it straight. It's a nice fade. Baby Annie fights out the flat, maybe gets a little finish, but yeah, just a control fairway everybody needs to have in their bag. Next up, I have a prototype Onyx. This one's really good for just, it's very similar to that Proto Athena, just maybe a little more overstability and a little more gliding. Obviously it goes further since it's a faster disc, but Baby Annie, fight out, control hyzer shots about 380 to 400, so really good there. Next up, we got Raptors for forehands mainly. We got this Monster Shrimp Glow Z Raptor from Jake and Evan's fundraiser disc last year. This one's a very flippy stock Raptor. You can throw it on hyzer forehand, get the pop up, baby turn, and fight out. I throw this one for the hole one for the layout we're playing this weekend. And yeah, really good forehand Raptor for the straighter ones. Next up, I got my most thrown Raptor in this first run Z Raptor. Really good for just consistent Annie out of the hand, have it fade out. Those two are really thrown for backhand. The next one is a predominantly backhand Raptor if I'm gonna throw a Raptor backhand. But this one's really good for just the consistent overstable shots and holds up and wind really well. Last up for the fairways is this Adam Hammis Crystal Raptor. This is the most overstable Raptor I've personally found. I used to carry an Avalanche from DGA, lost it, so this one is holding that slot for now. This one's just really overstable. Rip it on Annie, forehand, backhand, doesn't matter. It's gonna fight any wind you want it to, and yeah, beefcake. Next up is distance drivers. I only carry 5. I like to limit myself in distance drivers. I don't like to have too much variety in them because I feel like if I have too much variety, I throw worse shots because I'm trying to fit another disc in or something. So first up, for my flippiest one, we got this ESP Glow Nuke from 2018 Ledgestone. Very good for hyzer flip to turn on backhand or just my longest forehand shots if I need, if there's nothing in the way. If there's nothing in the way, I'm gonna pull out this one and just go for big distance. So I might throw this one on the power line hole today, I'm unsure, but this one is a really good bomber. Next up is my favorite distance driver, is this first run Venom. I got this one when it first came out and it's making the Ledgestone Lake. That's not what it's called Eureka Lake, that's what it is, Eureka Lake. It was in there for about a month and then I got it back. It's really good for a forehand straight shots, baby Annie that hold and come back, and hyzer flip backhand is what it's really good for. It's a overstable disc that beating the straight, so it has a lot more glide and it holds a straighter line now. Next up is a Z Nuke. This is one of the domier ones. This one has a little more stability since it has that dome on it, and this one's my predominantly backhand one because I'm not a fan of the dome for forehand. It's just consistent hyzers, maybe Annies, but really it's just consistent flat to hyzer shots that need to go about 420 and just sit. That's what I go with this one for. Next up, we got a Hollingbeth ESP 6-time Force. This one's the one, it's very similar to that Nuke, but for forehand since it's a little flatter profile. And it feels good just to put this one on Annie, have it fight out, and just be overstable when I need it to. Not too much of backhand. I use this in practice rounds for backhands. If I throw that Nuke and it wasn't a good shot, I'll switch to this one. But this one's predominantly forehand. The last disc in my bag is a Disccraft Z Nuke OS, just for if there's ripping headwind, doesn't matter what angle you put on, it is gonna fight out. And this one is just something every player needs, just a super overstable distance driver. That's all I have for my bag, guys. Please check me out on Instagram at ryanmonn.dg_14 and see you guys next time. Oh, I'll also have my YouTube channel. I believe it's just Ryan Monn Disc Golf on YouTube, and please check that out as well. Thank you.